that I would be looking forward to the most, but it's happening now. And if you're here, what's up, stream? Hi, guys.
No way. Hello,
No
stream.
way.
Uh,
Here.
uh,
It's
welcome,
okay.
welcome to the Good Boys versus Rift game, round 9. Today I am Cranky Eye and I'm joined by
50-free.
Yippee.
We have a good game today between dang, I already forgot. I was just looking at it. Good Boys
Rift.
and Rift. So our first map here, as you can see, is gonna be Oasis. I mean, I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again because you guys didn't hear me. But you're probably just gonna see some standard Winston with a stable backline, is what it seems like is the most meta pick right now. But we're going straight in. We don't got time for anything.
Good Boy is going on to the Junker Queen comp with Sombra Reaper while and a Moira, so they're not gonna have Suzu for on his nades. And we're gonna have a pause immediately on the side of Good Boys.
I give this a little bit of time to talk at least.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
But
So
but
as we did see, Rift is on the monkey comp as you talked about.
yeah, the monkey comp kind of feels like it's going to be superior here, but I see the point of the queen comp. It feels like they're going to try to take control of the high ground and work their map control, but it's going to be up to which team. I feel like, I don't know if I saw this correctly, but I think both teams are going for high ground right now, and that does benefit the side of Rift more because they are in a brawl comp and they are going to be able to get more value out of all being together. Plus the fact that the Tracer's coming back out of spawn right now with no blinks is not going to be the best situation for a Tracer to be in, but now we are back in.
We're gonna go back in. Exton using recall very early. Salty low HP, use shout already. We're gonna see a little bit kiting from Rift, and Chime is just poking some damage, but they seem to be grouping up real quick. Good Boys is on point trying to... Sorry, the beam coming in from Chime ticks down Salty so much and dies to the anti-nade, but Pascal gets the trade onto Abyss with a skill orb, very skillful, I must say. It's gonna be even fight, but Good Boys is gonna be down there, Junker Queen, so it's not looking very good for Good Boys right now. Chime uses fly, gets ticked down a little bit, and they're gonna be trying to focus down Lucio, but gets very low in the process. Salt. Good Boys looking like a full group right now. It's gonna kite the Brig ults. Biz tries to hack, or sorry, I am stuttering right now. Thunder TPing in. Pascal pops Cole. Yeah. But Thunder instantly goes down. Salty goes down to the hands of Chime. Pascal pulls down Yamatra. Chime gets the focus beam onto Noctis, and that's going to be a very good hold coming from Rift as they got 50 ticks currently.
Rift did only have to win one fight for all of that, but the important thing is that yes, like as you said, 60% already in favor of Rift, while Good Boys has only taken one fight, and I would say that they have a little bit to work up to here as they are up in the ult economy. This EMP could be very massive if it does hit the Brig and Ana. That has looked like what they're going to try to go for it with this, but now solo EMP baby onto the monkey here, just trying to find a hack to start opening the fight, but the EMP directly onto the monkey, insta-killing him, and the nano from Abyss does not actually land onto the monkey, so they are going to be down that for this fight. But Rift still just contesting point here, just making sure that they don't give up any progress, because the more progress they get, well, obviously, the less Good Boys have to work with. As now, Thunder trying to get X10 out of this fight. Salty does manage to finish off the kill there, but the monkey from Astron X is back into this fight now, just living on point, does have the primal to work with as Yutimarova is going to go down here from Noctis, and Good Boys is going to start to be able to work up this point, but a nice sleep from Abyss is going to halt the progress from Good Boys, but still living on the high ground, but not for much longer.
That was a nice 3-2-1 coming from Good Boys. The EMP onto Astronex. Just pretty much going to win the point immediately. A big ult advantage from the side of Good Boys, but it's not going to be ult advantage soon enough, because Rift is coming up onto basically 4 ults. Fade already stuck, gets nothing. Very nice.
Fade.
Yeah, that was a very nice stick. Sadly, got nothing. I'm thinking Salty's looking for a Queen ult onto the supports. Here comes copy. Beat coming from Noctis. Ooh, nice stun coming from Mitra onto Thunder. And nothing's really happening. Chime just now getting ooh, Salty pops Rampage, but does get the pick onto Abyss. Pascal gets the cool kill onto Chime, and Rift runs away from the fight. It is going to be a 98 to 65 advantage for Rift. And, you know, the Rift is going to come back strong with Nano and Primal here. While Good Boys only has EMP, so this is looking very good for Rift.
EMP is a very good ult to just win a fight off of just EMP. They are going to have to do with this fight as nothing is even close to being built other than that. So if they want to win, they're going to have to go now, as more of the map is being given to Rift right now. They're going to have to go in early with this EMP. The EMP does land onto 2. The pick to Abyss does come immediately, but Itamara is going to live out in this with Thunder trying to just live now, but Chime and X10 getting 2 picks, but Noctis trading it out immediately with Chime following up with getting another one. Rift is up in this fight with Paxel dying now. It's just going to be Biz left on point, and it looks like this first point is going to go in favor of Rift.
The first 2 fights in the beginning were strongly held by Rift, and that's basically why they won this point. It was like Good Boys looked like they were gonna come back, but they used one too many ults in the second to last fight, which did cost them the round. As we're gonna go to Gardens, and we're gonna see a Ramatra Brawl coming on the side from Rift.
Like another problem that Good Boys had that round is that last EMP they had, it was like well timed, but it doesn't feel like that everyone was committing onto it with each other. I think that if Salty really was in there with Noctis as well and Thunder, that EMP would have won them the game, as it would have been 2 immediate picks with the Nano Winston not really finding too much value.
Point opens up in 20 seconds. We're gonna see Rift take the high ground. It's gonna be one hell of a struggle from Good Boys to try to retake it, as both walls goes out. Fade pops from Thunder, and he's just gonna go down because of wall. Shout coming in from Salty. There goes Biz, and Good Boys just trying to kite this, but they can't because the Mei walls are really good from Chime currently.
Which is just really unlucky for Thunder there. Getting caught out by that Mei wall and then Fade not being able to go through walls. A little bit unfortunate. I feel like that would be a nice addition to Reaper's kit, but instead now, switching over to the Soldier and trying to get a little bit more long-range poke, it seems like what they're going to go for here, because they are switching off the Reaper, and they are playing into a ramp, so building up these rails is going to be very essential for Thunder, as that's what he's trying to do now. But the brawl is going on down in the low ground, and Yamatra is falling very low, but Abyss popping this Coalescence extremely early, getting the pick, or not really getting picks, but just keeping everyone alive in this fight, while also doing a massive amount of damage to everyone around them. As Thunder does trade out the pick onto the tank from the side of Rift, so it's going to be very interesting to see if Good Boys are actually able to recontest this, as they are going to be up a tank for a little while.
Cole gets popped by Pascal. They're gonna try to do a fast re-engage. Salty pops Shout onto the Reaper, but Yamitra is going to counterbeat that. And Noctis also beats Salty. Rampages, hits 3, very big ult. Yamitra and Chime goes down to the hands of Salty Noctis. Thunder gets 2, make that 3, and that's gonna be a team kill from the side of Good Boys.
A very well taken fight from Good Boys, not overcommitting onto anything, but staying together as a group and engaging that fight extremely early with the Cole while Rift was still down a tank. For this next fight, I feel like they're heavily favored for this one. The Blizzard is going to get a lot of value, especially into the Ramatra with no Kiriko on the other side, but they also have the overclock, so we're going to have to see. There they are. They engage extremely early, forcing the cooldowns out from everyone on the other side early, but Ashron does live it, and so does the rest of Rift, but Thunder gets a nice rail onto X10, forcing Rift to have to back up out of this fight, with Chime dying late as well.
Thunder is popping off right now with these rails. they're gonna try to clean up the staggers, so it's gonna be a little bit extra percentage. And Thunder gets another pick onto Astronex. Dimitri,
Feature could die there.
yeah.
Not gonna happen, but that still is a lot of progress gone from just one fight with a single ult use from the side of Good Boys, as they did build up the Moira ult as well, but they are gonna have to fight into 3 ults this next fight, and they could be deadly.
They got a positioning, good positioning from the side of Good Boys. Big ults coming from both sides. And Thunder gets a pick onto Dimitra, but Chime and Ixon gets the picks onto Salty Abyss, while Astronex pops Annihilation onto Noctis, and Chime gets Thunder, and that's going to be the flip onto point, and they're gonna stagger the Moira a little bit.
A little unfortunate.
Tries to escape,
especially-
but can't, sadly.
This is coming into final fight territory now for, well, Good Boys especially, but this is gonna be a very hard fight for Good Boys to win, as they have only they have 2 ults. They pretty much have 3 ults actually, now I'm thinking about it, but Yumitra does have this beat, and Chime is coming close to the Blizzard, so if they're gonna have to win this fight, they're gonna have to do it now before Chime can build up their beat or their Blizzard, because that is gonna just change the fight. But Abyss tries to, the second the fight starts, from a nice rail from Thunder, and probably a boop from the side of Noctis as well. The Good Boys are gonna be able to win this fight without having to commit a single ult other than Blizzard, and that is very nice to have for Good Boys.
A early pick coming from Thunder, making to where onto Abyss, making to where they don't need to use ults, except they did use Blizzard, but you know that's not really important. Good Boys gonna go into this fight with 2 ults, maybe get Thunder and Pascal's ult, while Rift is gonna come with only a Blizzard and Beat, with Abyss getting their ult mid fight. Thunder doing some tick damage onto Astronex, build up charge. Gets high ground.
Also good at a nice a big wall from Chime. And the 2 spoils coming out from Rift, but now Noctis dropping the beat as well. Thunder has to falling there from the side of Ashton, but Abyss also getting another pick, as Chime's Blizzard is going to be the difference maker here, forcing Biz out of position and having to die to that ult. But now Poxel trying to keep this fight alive for them, is getting commit the Coalescence, but is going to fall. Too much pressure from the side of Rift to live through that, as now it is just Salty left, and unfortunately that's just not going to be enough.
This ends now.
Thunder pops overclock, immediately dies to the hands of Exon and
I don't think there's
Astronex.
any way to win that one.
And that's a pretty convincing map 1 from the side of Rift.
And both teams had pretty good ult economy through the whole game. It seems like the Good Boys really made sure not to overcommit on any fights, and if they were gonna lose, they just accepted it. But Rift seemed to have that, like, I wouldn't say like fight-changing ults, but they weren't afraid to just use an ult late into a fight to try to maybe just finish it out, or alternatively to turn around the fight. So Good Boys could start to do that, but I feel like the way that they're playing now is just, I think it's what they need to do. They just need to be a little bit more confident in their plays. What do you think, Cranky?
I noticed a couple times that last map that Rift just kind of walked past the team of Good Boys into a position they want to be in. You just need to shut down those engages, shut down those rotations, and you know, they did have a good ult economy, but maybe they could have used one less ult. But next map is going to be hybrid, and the choices are going to be Nambani, Icon Mod, or Midtown. What do you think that Good Boys would want to go here?
Seems like if I had to guess from their first comp choice, which is probably going to be what they want to play, Midtown seems like a good guess. I think it is the most brawl-oriented map, as there isn't really a spot that Brawl can't get to easily. So if they wanted to go for any map, I think Midtown would probably be their best bet. If they want to play Dive, you know, Nimbani or Eichenwald could work there, but judging off their first pick, it's probably going to be Midtown.
Yeah, the Junker Queen comp is really leaning towards the Midtown pick here, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they wanted to go Eichenwald. Second point, if they wanted to stick the Brawl comp, would be a struggle for them though.
Still not too bad. It's not as bad as Nimbani would be.
Yeah.
Second point and first point Nimbani are pretty much just strictly dive, and third point can be brawl, but dive is still extremely good. So it feels like that if Good Boys is playing towards their brawl mentality, which in my mind is going to be their strong suit so far, it's probably going to be Midtown.
I agree with your reasoning. And it's
Oh,
going to, and you're right.
Midtown.
Our hybrid pick is going to be Midtown. Not sure who's on defense first, but if I had to guess, it'd probably be Rift.
Does it work the same way? Do winners pick side? I think
I
I think
believe,
that's
I believe it would be.
yeah. So yeah, they'll probably choose to defend first. Defense seems like the a nice opening. You can see what the other team decides to run, and you don't necessarily have to react to it. But holding this first point of Midtown is not the hardest thing to do in the world. There's really only two places for you to push, and the third one is just non-existent, right? You're never gonna see people go through the train. I don't think I've ever seen it happen actually, where people have tried to push through train because it's just a long choke. So no point in doing that.
I
But
think I saw it in the beginning, like matches of Owl,
maybe sure
where
about
people try to push your train,
it. It
be a
just
little
doesn't work.
creative, and immediately get shut down.
Looks like we're about to go in though. I think we just got ours from both teams, so soon we'll see their comps and we'll start up the game. But for now, I'm still thinking probably gonna go with the Junker Queen comp. Probably gonna go with um maybe a Ram Brawl from Rift, which is what they played at on the Brawl map of Oasis. Second point Oasis, they played the Ram Brawl, which to me it feels superior. I don't know how you feel about that. You're the tank player here, but the Ram Brawl definitely seems superior to the Junker Queen Brawl because I feel like that the Moira is a really big part of that as well. I don't know how you feel that. What do you think?
If I think the Ram Brawl into Queen Brawl, if you manage to get a good slow, then the entire engage from Queen gets shut down.
Yeah, and as well as the the extra HP you get from Ram is a lot more than from Queen Shout now, right?
Yeah, it's just a lot of more survivability with Ram Block and the extra health you get. Like
Yeah.
you could use Brawl, lose a lot of your HP, pop ult, lose a lot of your HP, and then use Brawl again, and you're gonna be full HP.
I feel like that's what makes the Ram stronger as well. You know, Queen does have that self heal from her passive, but it's not as strong as just instantly gaining 250 HP like Ram does. It's 250, right? Or is it 200? I think it's 200. Because you start at 450 on Ram. I have no idea actually. Why don't I know that? I think it might be 450. Anyway, it's not that important. 600 is more than whatever Queen can get, so we're just gonna go with that. Plus the
Yeah,
ult is kind of massive as well.
and Funny Ram gets the speed boost,
Yeah,
which
true.
which Queen does also, but like
That's from her shout, right? Or
yeah, that's for
does her
Michelle.
bleed also give her speed?
No,
No.
no.
Okay, then yeah, no, I don't know what I was thinking there.
Uh,
We got baited.
Rod got baited.
I can't believe it. But
Seems like someone on Rift is using the restroom right now. I think we're gonna give them their privacy, not naming any names.
it was Cranky Guy.
I'm sorry.
Can't believe you.
Bit inappropriate.
That's sorry to name drop you like that. Say your full legal name, but
Cranky guy.
Cranky Guy. But for now, we're just gonna chill out for a little bit, you know. Think about the entire thing of Midtown, you know. They had the that third point is it feels like it's more confusing to play third point than it is for first sometimes because that high ground on for the defense is super awkward to play on for either side. It's kind of like Circuit Royale to me, where neither team really wants it.
You don't need the window.
You
On
don't need
Circuit
the
Royale.
window on Circuit, but that's for later. You know,
Oh,
if
you
they
don't.
pick Circuit, we'll talk about Circuit window. But for now, we're thinking about Midtown, and yeah, this first point is going to be incredibly hard to push through unless you have that Lucio speed, maybe even the Queen Shout might actually help here, or a Sim TP. Now you just got those, but it looks like we are going into the map now. Rift is R, so
I would like to see a sim coming from Good Boys. Just TP anywhere they want. Do some massive rotations onto a lone target. Because on Midtown, first point, usually you want to play a little bit split to get angles onto that one choke under train.
yeah, that seems like the right play here from Good Boys. Just TP somewhere, or whoever's on offense first. It looks like it's Rift. Rift is on offense first here, if I'm reading my stuff
Interesting.
correctly.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't think that's, you know, it's your choice to play wherever you want to play. But we are gonna see.
Weaver.
That's so real. They're actually gonna play Life Weaver. Trust me.
So real.
They're actually playing Life
I
Weaver.
can't.
I believe it.
I can't wait to see this Life Weaver gameplay.
Life
I will
Weaver
not get
game-
baited by Rift
They will-
for a second time.
They will not switch to Lucio. They won't do it. But Good Boys is coming out on this Queen. Queen Moira comp, but ooh, Rift is actually playing Kiri. Kiri Bap. That's a lot of healing.
Double immort.
Also, yeah, a lot of immortality and 2 solid ults as well. I don't think Beat's a bad ult. Don't get me wrong, but Kitsune might be a better ult. I'm just saying. Just thinking out loud.
Gonna have the TP up from Rift. Chime's gonna swap to the Tracer, and I'm excited to see what Good Boys, how they're gonna collapse onto the backline. But Thunder is going to get a early pick onto Chime somehow. Good Boys is gonna press W, shout, and try to catch out the staggers, but it doesn't seem possible right now, and they're just gonna walk back to choke.
That's some pretty nice ult charge though. They are going to be able to build up some of the ults, but Baptiste from Rift, I think it's Yamitra? Maybe some one of the, I think it's Yamatra. But is going to have 53 to their window, which is more than anyone on Good Boys. But Biz is coming close to this Blizzard, so that could be a fight changer.
Good Boys right now is doing some really early engages. Pascal already uses Fade, same with Thunder, and they're gonna rotate back to Fire Truck right now. Chimes on the flank, doing some tickle damage, and it gets picked off first again. And so I won't be surprised if they do an early engage. And here they come. Wall gets forced. Ooh, nice pick from Abyss onto Thunder with the window, and Ashen X gets the pick onto Salty. So, and it's not looking very good for Good Boys anymore.
Good Boys is going to come into this next fight though with the Blizzard, unless Biz dies now, which, I mean, Biz was caught off, so not too much to say there. But Pascal does have Coalescence, which is a nice ult to recontest with coming up, but I don't think they're going to be able to recontest with Cole. They don't have it yet, so not exactly
if
putting that out there.
dies here, they will not be able to recontest.
That is true. Noctis is going very low and is actually going to die, but still the recontest coming up from Good Boys. Just burning a little bit more time off the clock, maybe. Just trying to burn as much as possible and bait out an ultimate, which they do. They do get out the Kitsune from the side of Rift, which I don't think that's necessarily a bad play from Rift. I think that's really good that they are going to commit an ult to just straight up winning a fight without trying to maybe like have anyone just randomly die. So committing the ult there is going to end up winning them that fight.
Not bad from the side of Rift to catch out the overextending Good Boys. We're gonna have a lot of ults for Good Boys though. We're gonna have almost 5 ults compared to Rift's 3. Here comes Cole. Salty gets the pick onto Abyss. Exton, who pops Overclock, gets picked from Noctis Spook. And that's just gonna be the fight as Action X goes down a little bit late. That's a little bit extra time. And Yamitra is also gonna go down. So not bad from Good Boys. They're still gonna have 4 ults, and Chime's behind them.
Just a little bit more cart progress, you know how it is.
Yeah, just
a little bit of sneaky. That was a really good play from Noctis there, contesting that overclock even while low, just saying that, you know, I'm very confident what I'm about to do, and there's not a lot you can do about it. You're gonna have to hit 2 shots while I only have to hit 1 apparently, so that's what they're gonna do. But extremely early Blizzard coming out from Biz now, as they are just gonna force the side of Rift to back up here, but not any picks coming from it. Just time burns off the clock. As Salty now commits this ult. Abyss doesn't hit the Suzu, as Thunder actually gets the pick onto them, but Astron X is gonna just live with the Ramble. The Blossom from Thunder is gonna just sit right in front of them.
Awesome Blossom coming from Thunder. That's a lot of ults from Good Boys though. That's 4 ults compared to Rift's 2, I believe. Salty gets the pick onto Chime, so that's a little bit extra time knocked off the time clock.
Biz on Torb.
That's big.
I like Torb. Torb, this is going to be a really good counter to Chime, who is doing a lot in the backline, but just making sure that somebody is constantly marking this Tracer is going to give them a lot of value, as well as, you know, they don't have the wall anymore, but it's not too bad. But now, Window is going to come out early from Ymitra. Now the ramp is blocking forward. Salty forced to back out and commit Shout is going to put them at a little bit of a disadvantage, as they aren't going to be able just to walk up freely anymore because they're down Shout. Noctis maybe also having to commit that speed, but that's not going to matter too much now, as they did successfully kite the ult, but now Kitsune is going to come out, force the fight back into them, but Salty is going to get the pick onto Ymitra, with Pascal meeting the Kitsune with the Coalescence. Is going to do a lot of damage to the Ram from Astron X, but they aren't going to die, as now dropping the point, but Noctis and Thunda are going to follow up straight onto that and end up winning the fight.
Good Boys looking really good right now. Chime doing a little bit of extra cart push. Thunder gets a nice pick onto X10. That's a little bit of time knocked off the clock again. And it seems like Good Boys is going to set up on a high, maybe? Maybe go for a dive / brawl when when Rift gets close.
They do have Cart in a good spot here, Cranky. You see him?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cart
it's
is
really
right behind them.
Good Boys not gonna go into this fight with any ults, while Chime and Xen is gonna have both their DPS ults. The fight starts. Shout gets forced. Xen gets a nice pick onto Thunder, but Chime misses pulse onto Salty. Ymitra gets a pick onto Biz, and X10 getting the pick onto both Salty and Noctis, and it's just a little bit stall onto the cart. See if they can get another recontest, which I think they will be able to. It's going to be it's going to be very difficult from Good Boys though. Shout gets popped. Brawl gets popped from Astronex. Here comes Rambles, only finding Astronex, and he's gonna have Ramble. I feel like he's about to pop it, but you know, doesn't need to. Chime and X10 clearing the lobby. And
going back to the since those two fights happen like back to back, it's kind of hard to, you know, differentiate from which. But I really like Noctis marking the X10 ult. If anyone's gonna do it, it is good for the Lucio too, as movement's kind of crazy, going everywhere. So Noctis, good job marking that ult. But Rift just seeming extremely dominant right now. Good Boys does have a good hold going, but they're gonna have to hold this fight here with their 3 ults, and this looks like starting very early with the Cole and 2 sub-portals coming out from the side of Rift, but Noctis still holding onto this beat, as they are up 1 already, with Salty getting the pick onto Astron X, and now Ymitra and Abyss are gonna die from Blizz and Salty with each other, but now Chime just living out as long as they can, just getting killed unfortunately. But Good Boys now are gonna come into this next fight with the beat, as Rift has the Ram ult, so we are gonna have to see how Astron X decides to use their ult, as Noctis does have his beat here.
This is probably the most difficult choke for Rift to go through on this map currently. Just 2 entryways. Maybe they can do a speed flank onto the left side, but Good Boys just gonna give up the choke and kite back to the Pascal. Gets a pick onto X10 while X10 was trying to get the turret. Turret does go down, so X10's death was not in vain. Inward's gonna get popped from Abyss and goes down to Pascal again. And it, ooh, Annihilation.
Rambles being committed.
And Blizzard. Noctis does beat Blizzard though, and Thunder pops Overclock, finding 2, forcing Inward finds 3. And you No,
That's just
very,
so good.
that's very winnable for Good Boys, I have to admit.
Good boys, all they really have to do is cap 2 points here with a little bit on the third. I don't think that's too much to have to worry about if you're really getting down into the nitty gritty of, you know, what this map is, but just really good meat from Good Boys on recognizing that they're already up one and just realizing how much time is left and the ability to just commit extremely hard into Rift. Just a really good play, committing their ults when they needed to, saving the beat for late into the Blizzard to not have to make it so that people are just going to die in Blizzard anyway. But 2 people did get cut out from Rift, but I mean, that's just Blizzard things, I guess. But Good Boys doing a very good job of still holding on, not letting them full cap, and being able to win this map.
Good Boys going over to the offense side now. We're gonna see the same comps, except Chime's going. Oh wait, Chime was on May. I'm a little bit not in it right now. Sorry. And I'm still puzzled by the Pascal Amora with the Queen pick. I guess I'm not very cultured, let's say.
As a Moira lover myself, I respect any time you play Moira. The Cole is the longest charging ult in the game, but it's not like it actually takes that long because you are constantly building these as you're always doing something. You're always healing, you're always doing damage, so there's never like a lot of downtime on Moira, which is the upsides of playing them. But Good Boy's just gonna walk right on in as Astron X might have
DC'd for a second.
Or something,
Maybe
I don't know,
emote?
but that's gonna like cause Rift to lose a lot of space here. Might even lose them this first point, as Salty is gonna get the pick onto Abyss, and now Rift is gonna have to play this fight down 1, and it doesn't even look like they're gonna be able to recontest this, as Thunder gets one, as Ymitra tries to get out, but Pascal as well, trying to get the out pick on Chime with Exton and Astron X falling there as well.
Not really sure what happened to Ashen X that fight. Either DC'd or emoted. Like an emote that was way too long.
Or heroic.
Surely it wasn't heroic.
Surely it wasn't heroic.
But that's gonna be point 1 because of that misplay, I guess.
5.5 minutes, dude.
5.5 minutes for point 2. There seems like Good Boys just gonna play around cart. They do wall off Astronex though, forces Brawl, and Chime has to wall off his Ramatra. Thunder does get Fade Force, and he's just gonna poke down the Ramatra real quick, but Pascal pops Cole, and they're gonna try poke down the Mei. Mei does die but pops Blizzard. Ymitra pops Beat, and Salty goes 1 HP and dies to the hands of Ymitra. It's still an even fight currently, with Thunder on high ground contesting 3 people on the side of Rift. It does go down to the hands of X10 though. Biz was too slow to help his buddy out. And it seems like that's going to be the fight, with Rift winning.
That was a really interesting fight to watch. I think at times both teams were extremely split off from each other. I saw a lot of times where their own Maze walled them off from being able to do anything. So, you know, both teams not making the smartest plays, but Rift comes out on top in that fight and does burn 1.5 minutes off the clock at the same time with only committing 2 ults.
It's gonna be a pretty even fight going to this next fight, but very early window. Not gonna get very much value from it. And his Blizzards, it didn't land for a while, but it does get Astronex in there. It goes to 1 HP and has to pop Annihilation, while Salty and Noctis both pop their ult. Astronex falling to 1 HP with Ymitra, and I didn't even call Chime and Abyss going down, but that happened sometime during the fight, and Abyss gets the final 2 stalling cart.
Unfortunately, Good Boys did have to commit 4 ults to winning that fight, but getting cart progress is extremely important, especially on a map like this, where this part is one of the hardest parts of the whole map. I feel like a lot of the map is extremely hard to push, but pushing up this fight with only Cole into the overclock is going to be hard, but they are going to do it immediately. Trying to keep Thunder alive. Pascal just looking to live here as X10 trying to find a headshot, trying to get a pick. He's going to get Salty very low, but not get the pick as Pascal is going to get Chime. As now the point is getting dangerously close to being capped, and there are no picks going in favor of Rift right now, but the beat is going to come out. Keep them in this fight a little bit longer. Salty is finally going to die for their actions of being too close up, as Thunder falling as well. As X10 is just getting so much value right now, just going everywhere with the slide, keeping up themselves, getting 4 in that fight, maybe 3. I don't know how to count to 10, but 3 picks for X10 in that fight.
That was an unbelievable beat coming from Yamitra, that fight. Pretty much saving that fight entirely, which ends up saving the point. And then X10 following up on that beat by getting 4. That's insane. Rift is gonna, yeah, Rift has 3 ults compared to Good Boys 0 currently. They
build this though.
Another early window. Seems like it zones out a lot. Chime is gonna pop beat. Salty gets a nice pick onto Dimitra off screen. Chime gets a pick onto Thunder from that Blizzard, and Biz decides to pop Blizzard while Astronex gets melted down while in Annihilation. Chime goes down, and it seems like it's just gonna be cleanups from the side of Good Boys. And Noctis says, "We're not gonna lose this fight this time," and pops beat, which Pascal does get 2 at the very end. And you know, the winning point is right there.
30 meters away. I feel like I saw what Chime tried to do there with the wall, and just wall next to the ramp so they took less damage. But maybe walling the ramp up would have been a little bit of a better play. I'm not exactly sure. I don't play Mei, but in the end it's not going to matter too much because now Rift is going to have to come into this with only X10 having the overclock, but we saw before how much that could do. So X10 pops the overclock early, but Good Boys backing out immediately. What a great play from them.
That was a very nice kite.
Salty has ult and is on high ground. Gonna drop now with the ult. It is gonna go on to X10. X10 is gonna live for now. Gets the immor, but not gonna live for the whole thing. As Salty is gonna finish the kill that they started. As Astronex is gonna try to live on point. Not gonna live for too much longer, but the beat is gonna come out now. As Astronex now can't keep living. As Salty is just way too far in the back line. But Good Boys are still in this fight, but not for much longer. As Thunder is now gonna fall, and Good Boys have to back out.
Because of Rampage sending you like 50 feet of maybe pretty much a football field away from where you started, Salty was just trapped behind Rift and really couldn't do nothing. But they are gonna do a early re-engage. They're gonna have Blizzard this mid fight while Abyss has window. He's probably gonna pop it real soon, and they gotta win this fight before Chime gets Blizzard. Noctis marking X10. Chime goes low, and here comes Immort and Window coming from Abyss. Big Blizzard coming from Biz. Gets a pick onto both supports. And this should be the end of Rift. Salty gets a pick onto Chime. X10 goes down to Thunder. And here comes Annihilation. They're gonna win this.
Unfortunate.
Sadly not.
Tanks are strong, but not that strong. As Good Boys are gonna take this Midtown map. You see what Biz did? Biz just walked into the back line of Blizzard.
Blizzard both supports. What a trad.
With Noctis getting like incredible contests on this entire map, just always making sure X10 is not free. But this is a really good play. I did count correctly. X10 did get 4 in this fight, so it's okay. My sanity is saved. But just really clean aim from X10 there, hitting all the shots that matter and hitting rails to the head. Just great job from them. I wonder how many final blows they had that map. I don't know if we can find that out, but it's probably a good amount.
I really wish we can see advanced stats like that. Maybe a future implementation to the game.
Yeah, where spectators can actually see stats. Unfortunate that we can't for now, but a very good map. I think Rift kinda lost it on that first point. Don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
But that's okay, you know? Stuff happens, and it's not the end of the world. It is a 1-1 series, so it's still a close series. Rift does have a chance to come back in this, as they did start early, but Good Boys seemed like they cleaned up their act from the first map and are gonna start to work their way back in this, and maybe even pull out the next map, which it's gonna be a payload map, right? Escort. So we got Gibraltar, Dorado, Root, and Circuit. What do you think it's gonna be? It's your turn to guess.
Um, I'm
Don't
sorry.
forget, it's Rift picking.
Yeah, it's Rift picking. I gotta
Gibraltar,
look at maps
Dorado.
again because I ignored you. I don't like
That's
you.
fair. That's completely fair. Same way that I feel towards you, but it's okay.
Um, but as we saw from map one where Rift went monkey, I'm thinking it might be Gibraltar, which it I really hope it's Gibraltar anyways, because I really like Gibraltar.
I like
But
Gibraltar.
but it does make sense for Rift to pick Gibraltar because of how Good Boys is sticking to this brawl comp, this Junker Queen comp, and not and I don't think they've shown another tank yet. Uh,
They did play the Winston at one point. I
Did they?
believe I believe they played Winston. I'm gonna. I was gonna make a shot in the
Uh,
dark, but we are gonna be on
uh
Gibraltar for this map 3. Good guess, Cranky. That was a good read from you. So
both
far,
of
we
us
are
are
two
one
for
and one.
two. We're
Yeah.
2 for 2 so far together, but I mean, this is gonna be your standard map. Gibraltar has not changed much. They did do that patch update on third point. I believe they changed the spawn room, some high ground stuff. They just started throwing things around the map to make it look better. Um, and they changed, I think, the scenery. I think they changed like the day and night. So this,
Um, I
this is
got a
interesting.
I got an interesting stat for you guys. For chat here. Rift is 0-5 on Gibraltar currently. So
This is their pick.
this is Rift's pick. So they have to have something cooking, right?
I believe. Their Winston looked really good on Oasis. I think that they are. They I wouldn't say I don't like making favored terms, but I think that they are in a good spot to take this map. But I mean, Good Boys looked extremely good last map, and if they can force Queen into Rift's dive, then I think they should be fine. I think they're gonna have to make sure to constantly be contesting these high grounds and constantly be able to change when they need to. You have to be able to swap, right? Counter picking is a big thing, but I feel like just making sure that you stick to your roots and then change if you have to. I don't think that Good Boys is in a bad spot. I think they can pull this one out.
I've seen Zari get hard locked onto my Gibraltar games. So
Oh yeah.
if they can win games, I believe Good Boys on the Junker Queen can also.
Good Boys are 1-0 on Gibraltar, so time to make it 2-0, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'd be seeing a lot of though, Cranky?
What?
I see a lot of Reinhardt Lifeweaver in my ranked games, and so therefore we are going to see that. I believe.
Are you the one locking Life Fever?
Yes. No. Maybe. No. Maybe. No.
Whatever, man.
You're the one picking Ryan on Gibraltar, man. I don't know what to tell you.
um,
Rift has picked Gibraltar 4 of those times that they have
man,
lost.
these stats are getting better and better.
I really, having shout out to the production, giving us these stats that we could tell you guys, but so far it's been pretty good. This is an exciting series so far. I've been having a good time. I mean, both maps. Well, I would say that Oasis was still close, even though it says on the score it says
Yeah.
2-0 in Rift. They both points went to 99-99, right?
Uh,
So
I believe just the first one, but I believe the second one on Oasis went to like 80.
yeah, like 8. So both of them were extremely close. Midtown was close as well.
Um,
I believe a minute and a half left on the clock for Good Boys, somewhere around there.
I feel like it would have been closer if the incident didn't happen on first
The
point for Rift.
incident didn't happen. Yeah, there's that. Um, but every you have to go into the Overwatch, one of those games where every game is winnable, right? Unless you have certain people on your team that you avoid, but every game is winnable in terms of just who's playing better on what day. So Cranky, I don't know how you feel about Gibraltar, but I still think you can force rush. You know, maybe not Life Weaver Rhine, but you know, other things, other versions of Rush, like Queen. You know, Queen Ram could work.
Did,
You're just gonna have to deal with the verticality.
sorry, cut you off. Did London play Rush on on Gibraltar against the Shock? I'm trying to remember if that did happen.
See, if you're asking me, I have no idea. I do not watch much Overwatch League anymore.
I'm pretty sure London forced Brawl
Did they win?
on Gibraltar. It went to the overtime. Like
Oh.
both teams capped, and then
Wait, I forgot about Symmetra. Wait, you can actually play Brawl on this map. I didn't forget about Sim. You just TP across the high ground. But I don't think they're actually gonna play Ram with Brig on us, so I think Rift is baiting us again. Or me this time. I think they're gonna switch over to the Winston. But pretty stationary backline with the Ashe as well. Good Boys, of course, playing their Queen with Moira. And having the Mei. I'm not sure what exactly the Mei is
gonna wall off.
gonna wall, but we'll see. As Astron X is actually gonna play Ram. As X10 is gonna switch over to the Hanzo as well. Ooh, ooh,
I
like that.
agree with the Zana pick coming from Rift. Just nade Salty. It's not gonna have any Suzu, but it is a early engage, and Salty gets the axe onto Abyss before Abyss can get the nade. And that's just gonna be the fight. I mean, I don't know what to say. That's a very good engage coming from Good Boys.
The double speed just straight into the TP as now Rift switching over to having a Mercy to pocket either the Ashe or the Echo. Probably gonna go more towards the Echo as no one is gonna be able to deal with them on Good Boys. It is gonna be up to Good Boys to just collapse onto this Ram, which is what they are doing right now. Astron X falling very low, but not gonna die as Chime does get the pick onto Thunda, as Astron X still full HP, 675 HP on that bar, but they are gonna be able to live that engage from Good Boys. But I mean, Good Boys did what they needed to do there. They contested car for long enough to stop Rift from getting too much car progress and just burn time off the clock. A minute already gone, and ult's building up for Good Boys.
I mean, Rift has more of a ult advantage. They can build their ults pretty fast. Good Boys is gonna have Cole very early, so they might have to burn Chime out of duplicate. Here comes Cole, trying to burn down the Ramasher, but not really gonna do anything. Exen gets to pick onto Thunder, and here comes Nano and duplicate.
Valk also gets popped from
Yeah,
Rift.
might as well pop Valk.
Yeah. At this point, it's just going to be up to how long can Good Boys stall on part here, see how much longer they can get, and the Queen ult coming out from Chime just to do a nice little 40 damage to end that fight, but not really going to matter too much using Queen ults. When you're Echo, it doesn't do anything for the ult economy, so might as well use it. I
mean, Rift still has 2 ults for Good Boys 3. So it's not looking too bad for Rift right now. Good Boys needs to, you know, do a little bit more against this Echo and Ashe.
I think X10 is getting a lot of value in this game. A big nade goes onto both supports from Good Boys, but not a lot gets forced there, as it is just going to be time burned from Good Boys recontesting this cart. But X10 is free to do whatever they want right now, as Noctis is going to try to go contest this. Salty is going to pop the ult. I think it didn't hit Abyss, but it did hit Ashe and X, but Abyss does instantly get blown up. So that is going to be a lot of value there from Biz getting a nice 2-piece with Possible and Salty getting 2 on the way out, as well as Salty finds the last pick just off of that Queen ult. Is a very nice fight win for Good Boys, not having to commit too much to winning that fight.
Biz staying busy right now. Haha. Yeah.
Busy is...
Good Boys is gonna have 4 ults going to this fight. I mean, they just built a lot of ults, and Rift is gonna have 3.
Oh, we're good now. That was scary for a second. We're good.
Wow. Kinda caught me off guard.
But Rift is just gonna have to back up now. Go ahead.
Astronex gets the downward spiral pick onto Noctis, and gets the pick onto Coring Pascal, and that's pretty much gonna be the fight with both supports down. Salty dies, and Biz is Biz and Thunder is trying to stall a card for a little bit of extra time. It's going to be 2:45 to get halfway through Gibraltar's second here.
Something I just realized is X10 has not used Bob yet. I think we're maybe 4 or 5 minutes into this map, and X10 now pops Bob. It's because I mentioned it, you know. It's just that's the whole reason. I'm just so incredibly, you know, smart about that. But Chime gets to pick onto Salty is that Bob is just gonna buy a lot of space and time.
I also feel like Bob is just really good on this like area of second. X10 gets a nice pick onto Biz while Biz pops the Blizzard, but
Doomfist!
Doomfist. This is Salty's favorite character. Chime gets the pick onto Pascal, so it's not gonna really be much, and Salty's just gonna have to stall here. X10 and Chime is popping off right now, and Good Boys doesn't really have an answer, but Biz is gonna swap to the Somber. Noctis going to the Kiri, and Salty onto this dang Doomfist. So it's gonna be more of a divey comp on this third point.
I kind of like it though. I think it'll work out very well for Good Boys because it is going to just be super dive oriented with Kiriko having like a kind of like a waypoint of the Ana to be able to TP back into backline to help, but also the people to dive with like going in. But while I'm saying all this, the rally does come out off of the hack from Biz, and it seems like Good Boys are just going to back up now. They don't really have to fight into this, as that looks like it's what they're going to do. They are going to just be able to back up here and now be able to recontest, coming close to the Nano and the Pulse Bomb. The hack comes out onto Yumitra, but it's not going to find anything as Biz does get the pick. The copy from Chime coming out onto the Ana, trying to nade the backline, looking for something. Sleeps the Kiriko, calling for their team to come help them, but doesn't look like the Kiri is going to die, but a big nade is going to come out, looking for someone to dump Nano onto for the next 3 seconds. Nano does come out onto Astronex, but it's not going to stay for too long as Abyss dies from a damage, a Nano boosted, probably charge punch from Salty, just absolutely one-hitting, and Salty gets 2, but Exen does get the pick onto Thunda. Biz gets the hack, but Noctis is just getting a lot of value in the backline. This Kiriko pick is going to start working out for them, as it's going to just add more value to dives, as you are going to have a support who can do 120 headshots, plus cleanse, plus wall climb, plus TP, like just so much value from one support character.
I think Salty got 4 that fight. That's Doomfist is really his favorite character. Biz behind them, looking for an early EMP dive. Here it comes, and Abyss and Yumitra immediately goes down. Xen gets the trade onto Biz, but Thunder gets the trade onto Xen, and Salty gets the final pick onto Astronex. So not a bad fight from Good Boys. You could argue it was too fast of a fight, you know?
Too fast, too furious from Good Boys. But they do have this Kiriko ult for this next fight, as Rift does read the play here. They are going to look from behind first before they start to walk in, so they are going to have to only die from one angle this fight from Good Boys. But Abyss building up this Nano. Xen also has Bob for this fight. You're going to have to see what Good Boys decides to do. A Kiri headshot onto Abyss is going to force them back for a second, but not for too long, as Rift is going to start to walk forward. Good Boys trying to find their angles again, trying to just create a lot of like mayhem really in this fight, as Abyss is very far back. No dive really going to happen onto them unless you have to use 2 cooldowns, which Good Boys doesn't really want to do, so they are going to try to look for the dive onto Xen, or just hack out Astronex, or just wait for cart to push. You know, you don't have to waste a lot of time. There's 40 seconds left, one whole clean fight from Rift left to go, but Rift is also on Kiriko now, so an even fight here in terms of characters, I feel like.
A lot of big ults for the side of Rift coming up. I'm looking for the EMP from Rift. Here comes Bob, here comes Nano from the side of Good Boys, and Kiriko ult. Scissor gets popped from Dimitra, but that's just so much coming from the Kiriko ult. And it's just Astronex. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to touch. He's half HP. He does get the touch, but he's immediately going to go down. Kiriko and Tracer is back. There goes Suzu. Here comes EMP. Gets Dimitra with that. X10 goes down, and that's going to be the round.
It's just really unfortunate for Rift. They did have the ult economy to win out that fight, but unfortunately, it seemed like the Sombra wasn't fully set up for that fight yet, as Good Boys did EMP first. They did use their ults first, so they came out on top in that fight. I feel like is the main point of that last fight, but it's a lot of the problems that Rift seems to be having is just taking too long to set up, or just not going at all. That last third point, they had 3.5 minutes, I think 3.5, and they didn't get past that first corner. So what Good Boys is capitalizing off of is the fact that they aren't really just walking up and taking space as freely because of the fact they're coming from so many different angles. Right, Good Boys is coming from all these different angles because they can. Right, they have Sombra, Tracer, Kiriko, and Doomfist with an Ana in the backline. They aren't going to be able to just die because that's not how the game works for them. So Rift need to capitalize off the fact that there are so many people coming from different angles, and they can start to win by hacking out one person and then getting them.
Hello. Greetings.
Good Boys are playing this standard comp that they were playing before, but I think Noctis is kind of baiting a little
Alright,
bit.
my mic was muted.
Alright, that's awesome, man. Noctis playing Brig. Actually, no, now the Kiriko, but they are going to TP across first. Just take a little bit of high ground control. Start to work the map into their favor.
Is going back on, you know, Good Boys just gonna go back to their tried and true. Chime doing some early damage, gonna have 25% ult charge all ready to duplicate. Gets Kiri headshotted, but immediately gets healed up. Astronex does use Brawl. I believe I saw Suzu go up, but it could just be random splash. Astronex going to 1 HP, uses shield and slow, and gets healed up fully. Here comes Brawl, and he's just stalling Cartwright right now. Very good stall. Ooh, do you see where Good Boys is going? They're gonna flip the map.
They're flipping map, which is really good for them. Pascal's gonna start to build up this ult like really quickly now because of the fact that everyone is grouped together on their team. Building this coalescence is not gonna take too long, but they have to worry about Chime having this duplicate earlier than they're probably expecting. 1 minute is also off the clock. When Chime has the duplicate, is immediately gonna pop it. And onto the Queen now, trying to fight through this, looking to build the ult. Chime has to build this Junker Queen ult to give it value. Salty's falling very low. Chime does get the pick onto Salty with Astronex getting the pick as well, but Astron falling now to Fizz. And Noctis getting another pick, actually. It's still very close in this fight for Good Boys. They do have the positioning advantage as well as Noctis is on this high ground, just lobbing Kunai up to the Echo on the other side. Is now going to work their way forward, gets another pick.
Oh,
just walking forward. Big play from Noctis there on that angle with the Kunai headshots, just so big.
The funny support flank. I love Kiriko doing 120 headshots.
Kiriko's awesome.
And having a free escape ability. But anyways, Good Boy's gonna opt for the high ground to make sure that Rift can't do anything with it. Block does get forced early though. And here comes Nano Ram. Blizzard does
purple.
Yeah, Salty is purple. Just got ult with that. Biz popped up Blizz there, and a lot of ults coming out. Noctis uses Fury ult. Here comes the Bob and Brig ult coming from Rift, and it seems like they're gonna stall Cart out because the Salty early death.
We are gonna see in this fight the difference between having a Queen ult and a Ram ult. We are gonna see if which side is gonna come out on top here. They do have very different comps, but it's just still gonna be down to which ult gets more value. Is Salty gonna get a big Queen ult here, or is Astronex gonna have a even bigger Ramasher ult? Is Salty now walking forward? Is gonna hit Exxon with their ult, but Astronex is gonna just live on point for now. But Salty does get the pick with Thunda getting a nice pick as well, a nice stick onto Abyss. With Noctis getting a pick as well, and it seems like that Good Boys is going to come out on top in this fight, having committed Queen ult and the Pulse Bomb.
You don't need to hit a lot with Queen ult. You just need to win the fight, which Salty is really exposing right now. That's the second solo ult I saw onto X10. For X10. It seems like Good Boys is opting for the early rotation onto Space Shuttle, which it seems like Rift is just gonna go under, try to contest Cart.
This Moira from Pascal is getting so much value as well. Just having these constant ults is so nice, you know. But Chime, gonna commit this dude.
Yeah. Not really doing anything with it. 3 seconds left and gets forced out of duplicate.
A big wall.
Oh, big wall coming from Biz. Thunder gets the pick onto Chime with that wall, and it seems like Salty is just gonna press W into this room. Salty gets the pick onto Yamitra, but Yamitra does get the pick onto Pascal. Thunder gets the final blow onto Astronex, and here comes Nano Chime. Chime gets one immediately onto Biz. X10 doing work on top of blue box, top right. Gets ult, and staying alive. Chime gets a nice pick onto Thunder. Here comes Salty ult onto Astronex. Noctis gets the trade onto X10, and here comes Kiriko from Noctis. Pascal gets the nice pick onto Chime, and Astronex is just gonna try to survive point. Here comes Blizzard and Kiriko ult coming from both sides. Astronex not getting frozen through that. Xen gets a nice pick onto Noctis. Salty gets a pick onto Yamitra. Abyss gets a pick onto Abyss, and Xen and Chime gets trades onto Thunder Pascal. Here comes Ramatra ult. Chime gets a pick onto Thunder, and Astronex gets the final 2 blows onto Salty and Biz. That was a very long fight and very costly for both sides.
Teams committing a ton of ults that fight, but Abyss Nano on the Chime really was the fight winner there. Good Boys had an opportunity to win that when Yumitra did not get their Kitsune onto point. It was just on high ground, so Good Boys was still in a good position to win that, but Astronex closes it out with the Ram ult, so it is going to go in their favor. Chime getting a pick early onto Biz. Now Good Boys are in a little bit of a struggle. They have 40 seconds left, and if they die now, they're going to have to full reset, but if they die in 10 seconds, that's even worse, as now X10 and Chime getting 2 picks.
Nice pick onto Salty, and that's going to be 30 seconds till the round is over. So this is going to be a last fight. X10 and Chime are going to have their ults with Abyss, also with Nano. Pascal needs to get Cole, and Salty needs to get his rampage here.
Chime could hit a nice pulse here, and it could just end the game pretty much. And that's what I'm looking for here. Chime with the pulse bomb, trying to hit anything with it, but Good Boys still have to touch point if they haven't yet, but now Thunder does touch point, but Astronex getting the pick on the Biz to start off the fight. Good position for Rift to be in as they are up ults as well. They do have the double DPS ults, but now Pascal in the backline with the Coalescence burning down Astronex, but Astronex is just not losing HP as now the Queen ult comes out. It does hit Astronex, but he is not going to fall low until now. But the Dragon is going to cover him up. Xen Dragoning onto point. Going to get the pick onto Pascal as well, but Salty gets the kill onto Astronex to, I feel like, end the fight in favor of Good Boys, as the only person left is Abyss with Chime on the way in. Gonna contest point for a little bit, but it's not really gonna win them the fight.
Astronex falling there was pretty much the final bell for Rift, as they lose the fight there. That was a very nice coordinated fight coming from Good Boys. Biz did go down early, but Thunder gets a nice touch. Good Boys tried to force high ground off a little bit till it was time to focus a couple targets onto point. And there's gonna be a couple. Oh, wow.
That was a nice shot from Chime.
Couple ults from the side of Good Boys. Gonna have Pulse, Duplicate, and Kiriko ult. Salty does go down a lot of HP, forces Shout, and they're just gonna be stacked around point. X10 gets a pick to Thunder. That's another big pick from Rift, and X10 gets another onto Biz. That's just a lot of time off the clock. Rift is gonna try to get some staggers, but they're gonna back up in order not to go down one early.
This fight is gonna be a very close fight. I feel like both teams having 2 ults, and they're both tank and support ults, but Rift X10 specifically does have the Dragon coming up. We're just gonna have to see who uses ults first, as Noctis pops their ult. Yumitra popping it as well, but Abyss and X10 trading picks. The pick onto the duplicate is not a real kill, but it is gonna be a lot, as Biz getting a pick, but Chime and X10 getting theirs, and that is just gonna be Gibraltar in favor of Rift.
Make that 1 in 5.
1 in 5.
Rift had something cooking up their sleeve, I see. Which was, Ram. Ram, carry, Ana. Pretty nice map coming from them, and a Doom player.
I like Doomfist. Shout out to Doomfist. We want a payload map? Sure, from Rift. You must be pretty excited. Going up 2-1 in the series as well is very nice to have, you know. I think that is match point, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
In
There we are.
favor of Rift. So this next push map is if Rift wins, they are the winners. That is just how winning 3 maps works, I guess. The dumb way to put it, but yeah, that's how it's gonna work.
This 4th map is gonna be push, and I believe all 3 push maps are in what's the word? Are in play, let's say.
Yeah, all 3 push maps are
available to be picked. We're gonna have, I believe, Good Boys is gonna pick. Thinking Colosseo. That's probably the most brawly map here.
Colosseo is pretty brawl, but you can't forget New Queen Street. New Queen Street is very brawl heavy as well. So I think that there's no gonna be real way to decide which map is gonna be played in this because 2 maps are so similar in their play style. You know, I personally am gonna favor New Queen Street, but I was right. Let's go.
Wowza.
I get it right. I win again.
Neither of these teams has played the Queen Street, so this is new territory for them.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not too surprised with the new Queen Street pick. It's a map, is the way I'll put it. There's no real exact way to play this map, except for the first fight. You kind of just fight for the high ground, and whoever wins the first point. But we'll see. We'll see how this one goes.
Personally, I'm a fan of push, and you know, not very many people say that, but I personally know how to play it, and so I like it.
Okay, ego showing.
I
would rather play 2CP.
Not sure about that, man.
I loved 2CP. I loved 2CP even while I was playing Overwatch 1. There's nothing more fun than playing Hanamura, and if you don't think that, then that's your opinion, but Hanamura was fun. But push isn't bad. Push isn't a bad map. Push isn't a bad like game mode. But if you know how to play it, you're in a great situation, right? Like
you're at an advantage right now.
Yeah, I feel like though that because I don't know if you know this, Cranky, but these are contenders teams. I feel like both of them kind of know how to. They should know how to play push. So I don't think that we're gonna see anything like people like staggering incredibly hard or throwing for no reason.
I could to chat right here. Not very many people know this, but you should die on carts if you're losing the team fight.
You shouldn't stagger yourself. That's such a surprise. Shout out to ranked players. But this is New Queen Street, you know? As I said before, New Queen Street, but
you are don't mean to cut you off. Is there really a cart on push?
Is there really a cart on push? Yes. Alright, you can call it bot.
It's a bot.
You can call it whatever you want. You know, cart's just easier because it's I use cart for payload and hybrid. And some maps. Don't know if you guys know this, guys.
Oh my.
Don't know if you know this, but not all of them are carts, guys. Some of them are rocket ships, and I don't hear anyone in my game saying rocket ships, so don't bring that up to me, okay? But yeah, you can call him bot. I don't remember. They might have given him a name during Overwatch League, like in the first season, but I don't remember
what scratch, man.
Well, no, that's just one of the spots, right? That's the checkpoint.
Yeah, that's a cap.
So I don't remember if they gave him a name or not.
Their name
TS1. Well, yeah, but the community gave him a name. I don't.
Yeah, like a Robert or something.
Yeah, it was something interesting. Is just the way I'll leave it at. But for now, push.
New Queen Street. You know, you don't have to be locked on only New Queen Street, you know, or what? You don't only have to be locked onto Brawl. It is also a great monkey map. Um,
Play ball on
usually,
this map.
yeah, Brawl's really good. There's a lot of health packs in mid and just around the map in general, and you know, it's very diverse when it comes to meta on this map specifically compared to the other maps.
Yeah, and you can play pretty much any comp that isn't poke. I feel like
Yeah,
uh,
you're not playing Sig
you're
on
not
this
you're
map.
not gonna play poke on this map. But you could play dive. You could play brawl. You play pretty much any version of either of those comps. You could play the ball comp. You could play TP brawl. Like pretty much anything. So we'll we'll have to see what they decide to do for this one. But Good Boy's probably gonna roll out on the Queen. Rift, if they are gonna play Brawl, it's gonna be the Ramatra. Or to me, I think they are gonna play Ram, but I would not count out playing Winston in this. But you know what we haven't seen yet, Cranky? We
What
have
haven't we
seen
seen?
a Narissa or Diva, which are
Okay.
two tanks that could be played. So just putting that out there, if you want to be cool, play Arissa. But
These teams are not SF what? S
what?
SF shock. I wanted to say one because of that TS1.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Esperanza.
We are not
How do
going
you
to New
how do
Queen
you
Street.
pronounce how do you pronounce how do you I don't even know how to pronounce how do you
I just say Esperanza.
Esperanza. I don't know. I feel like there's a different way to
Esperanza.
pronounce it. Esperanza. Esperanza. Esperan
Esperanza. Uh,
Esperanca. Esperanca. I feel like it's how I hear a lot of people say
es-
it.
Esperanza. Something like that is how I personally say it.
Okay, we're gonna go with
You're making me double think it.
E as in cheese. Esperanza. Esperanca. I think we're going with one of those. All right. I think we're just gonna leave it there. I don't want to think about um think
I
about
got
how to pronounce a map name.
I got a stat for you, free.
All right. I'm listening.
You can see this also, but anyone can see this, but Rift has never played on this map. They've
Well,
only played
neither
on Coliseo, and Esperanza is 2-1, or Good Boys are 2-1 on Esperanza.
Ed washes. Wash
You're
is
still on this.
well. Okay, but yeah, but someone put it. Okay, so I'm looking at it. Or S. It's per. Esperon. I'm just at a loss right now.
Esperanza.
Esperanza. Okay, we're good. We're good. We figured out how to pronounce
Thanks,
the
Reddit.
map. All right, now let's talk about how this map functions. Because neither of us said it was going to be this map, right? We said it was going to be New
Yeah,
Queen Street or
this
Colosseo.
this map, I've seen a lot more dive on this map compared to other push maps, but I have seen a lot of Junker Queen played, which is guess what Good Boys specialty currently.
So then, yeah, that
Um,
would make sense why they would pick this then if you've seen a lot of Queen. I mean, your elo's really high, so that's something to compare to.
Ice Cream 4.5.
Ice Cream 4.5. Cranky's GM5. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
I
Okay,
went
just
3-5. No,
he is
focus.
bad.
Let's focus on this contenders match we're watching. Okay, buddy.
All right, man. Whatever.
Um,
But I think that I do agree with you. There has been a lot of Queen, but there's always been a lot of Queen on push maps if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Even in the past.
Because of uh, bots is the main objective on this game mode.
You're right.
Surprisingly, it's going to be a lot of brawl at chokes. So like we're gonna see. We're probably gonna see fights at the tunnel, like the overpass on first, I guess, like in the middle. We're also gonna see it in the middle of the open, which isn't a choke. We're also gonna see a fight in at where cap is, where the halfway point is, and just other chokes throughout the maps like ramp and stuff like
Yeah.
that. There's not a lot of chokes thinking about it now, saying it.
It is a very open map. You know, I wouldn't be too surprised to see if they went back to the Winston with an echo on a brig backline from Rift. Good Boys didn't really seem to have a great time into that either, so I feel like that would be a good opportunity for them. But Good Boys probably gonna just lock down the Queen with Moira Lucio like they've been doing the whole time. They had the Doom though. And I don't. Doom is pretty good on Esperanza. Dang. It's been like 5 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes, 2 minutes even.
Refer to the Reddit screenshot we got from
Yes.
Fraud. Thanks, Fraud.
Esperanza. All right, but you know, Doom is pretty good on this map. I feel like if they wanted to play Doom on any map, it would be this one.
Yeah.
So. Not too bad. This map does seem really good for Good Boys. They have their primary comp is favored towards it. The Moira Lucio with Queen is favored here, but their backup of having the Doomfist is also pretty solid on this map in my opinion.
Yeah, both the comps they played in this match really fit towards Esperanza, and we're about to go in.
Hard.
Yeah, the music in Portugal, it fits.
I like this map's theme.
It's so beautiful. It's a good map.
It is. I think that a lot of the hate towards push comes from people not really understanding how the game mode functions, but also the fact that it's new. People don't like new things. But at this point, it's been almost a year, so it's time to get over it and accept that it's here. You know, you're not going to be able to convince people to change it, and even if, you know, they would, it would probably hurt the game in my opinion.
Yeah.
In Overwatch 2, I feel like push is better for this game than 2CP would be. So, it's here to stay type of thing.
And we're gonna go in, I'm expecting, you know, as we talked about.
SF shock. SF shock.
We're gonna see the Queen comp from Good Boys and probably the ramp comp from Rift once again. Wow!
Wow, look at that.
We got a big brain.
We got 20 seconds for them to switch comp to something funny.
That is true. Even though they had 5 minutes for them to decide in lobby.
Oh yeah, but they like to, you know, mess around, right?
Yeah, that is true.
In our games, you know, we pick Lifeweaver. So, you never know. But no, it looks like they're both going to stay on these comps. It is just going to be a brawl mirror, but the only difference... I guess there's 3 differences, you know, really, but they are going to probably play traditionally the exact same way, just playing off of walls, and whoever gets the better wall wins. Or whoever lifts through the other team's wall, I guess, as well.
Abyss might have a bad time into this comp. Like, Salty just... Okay.
There goes... Moscow's already dead to X10, but...
You know, whatever. You know. Ooh, big knife coming from a Salty, but...
A nice block from Chime.
Yeah,
he's gonna just neutralize it.
I thought that, I forgot... I totally forgot that Pascal died like 5 seconds ago. And it seems like they're about to go in. Biz forces block very early. And so... Thunder falls low. And it's about to go under choke. It's... Ooh, wall comes out, but
Gonna catch on Salty and Thunder.
Yeah. Salty and Thunder. Both forces cooldowns. Biz goes down, tries stall cart. And it's just a matter of stalling cart right now.
Nice. Nice shot from X10. Lol.
We're gonna see Biz swap to the Sauber and Thunder.
Good boy is going for it.
Yeah.
I think this is a good call.
Time.
think this is a good call from them. You do want to switch as early as you can. You're going to lose all of your ult charge, unfortunately, so this next fight is going to be incredibly difficult. You're going to have to fight into ults without any, so that's already going to be a hard fight, but especially since it's going to be an overclock, it's extremely hard to kill, unless you can just burst this Baptiste down, which is going to happen. No ults required for that, but a nice nade to finish it off, but X10 is going to get the headshot with Chime also getting a pick. It's still going to be in favor of Rift. They are up one in this fight, and they are going to cap out this first
That
point.
is such a big advantage, and it's not even 2 minutes into the game. 5 ults for the side of Rift. Good boys have 0. I mean, this next fight just should be unwinnable for Good Boys. But I didn't hear no bell. Here comes a big nade from
Bell doesn't dismiss you. The
big nade
Doomfist
from
does.
Pascal, but nice welcome from Chime, and that's gonna pick off Salty. But this does get the pick onto Abyss, so not bad. As Pascal and Chime gets a pick onto X10 and Thunder. Noctis gets a nice pick onto Yamitra, and Pascal gets a pick onto Chime. So remember when I said I didn't hear no bell?
I hear no bell. This is still winnable. Good Boys comp is going to be very good for this fight. And again, they are going to have the 5 different angles for every single fight. But Rift coming into this fight with 4 ults, as Good Boys also have 4 ults. It's just going to be he's T-posing. His Ashen X is going to have this Ramatra ult. It's going to be extremely damaging, as the only thing countering it is going to be the Nano, but Nano is going to come out onto Salty, as well as just a lot of ults getting dumped, but Biz is going to pop the EMP, is going to instantly die for it, but the fight is still in favor of Good Boys, as Salty trying to live on point here, but Ashen X trying to just live. Gonna be able to keep living here, as Salty is going to go very low. Salty is now going to die with Honda as well falling, but both supports still alive for the side of Good Boys, just wondering how long they can stay alive. Can they get any picks on the way out? Jumitra dancing back and forth, not getting headshot, but Paxel and Noctis both getting picks on their way out, as X10 finally finished up Noctis, as Jumitra falling very low, but Abyss getting the pick onto Pascal finally is going to end the fight in favor of Rift.
I really thought that the Good Boys were going to be able to win that fight out. They are going to do an early engage, as Rift is down their tank currently.
Good Boys can't forget they're down both supports.
That is true, but Noctis can get back very early due to TP, and it's just gonna be, nothing's gonna really happen now. It's gonna be a fight in mid, with, gonna have Kiriko ults for the Good Boys and Beat for Rift. Abyss falling low, here comes Suzu from Good Boys, and here comes the ult. Ashen X gets a good pick onto Biz, and Chime gets another pick onto Salty and Noctis, and that should be the fight. Pascal might be staggered here though, which would be really big for Rift.
Gonna get the pick, yep, and gonna get out as well. That is very big for Rift, but no. Mitra actually does die. Nice shots from Thunder there, cleaning that up. But Good Boys they do have to remember here, they are down in this game, so even winning fights is not going to be the most important. You're going to have to start winning back-to-back fights. That is the most important thing about push, is when you go down early, coming back from that is extremely hard, as it is 5 minutes left in the game, and the cart progress from both teams is pretty much just what it was in the first 3.
Here comes Kiriko ult from Rift, and nice wall from Chime. Makes Rift gets 2, which is onto Pascal and Salty, and the rest of Good Boys are gonna kite back and wait for their team. Biz is gonna have EMP this fight, which will be a very good winning.
They need to build it early. Oh, Abyss getting that nice pick, nice headshot to start it off, and then finishing it off with those 2 shots. But now we can see X10 just working their way up, just getting these rails and hitting people really hard. These 195 damage headshots and 130 damage body shots are just extremely powerful, especially if they're hitting shots like X10 has been. But Good Boys are going to come into this fight with the EMP ready, as Rift is coming up to their ults, but it's not going to matter if they die early like that. Biz and Thunder getting 2 picks to start off the fight, and that's pretty much just going to end it right there in favor of Good Boys.
It's still winnable for, never mind.
Nah, no, it was over.
I mean, they had 3, but
They had 3, but I feel like Good Boys just had better positioning because Rift was all close together, and against a Junker Queen, you don't really want to do that
yeah,
because that's a
true.
2-second axe at that point, and that's just so much damage.
Salty is gonna have his Rampage ready, and so does Ashenex, and Chime's gonna have his Blizzard, while Thunder is gonna have his Pulse Bomb ready. What could happen is Thunder early pulses, forces Suzu, and then Salty can follow up on that with Rampage, which I'm not sure would happen here. Here comes big ult coming from Ashenex, gets 3, Chime also Blizzard, and that's the fight.
That's just it. 2 ults committed to win that fight, but I mean, that's exactly what Rift needed to do there. Just commit 2 ults, start getting the card progress back towards where you need to go, and they're gonna get force spawn again. It's just the repeated like back and forth motion that Push has, where Rift isn't gonna commit ults deep into this area because they are already up by 90 meters. They don't need to go any farther in this map, but Good Boys do, and so they're gonna have to be committing ult after ult, like Pascal starting this fight off with their ult, but the Twins portal actually coming out from Rift there, trying to just win this fight, but Thunder and Salty gonna get picks to start out the fight, kind of, but this is gonna put Rift in a bad spot here. They're gonna come into this next fight with only the Sojourn ult, probably towards the beginning to middle part, but Noctis has their the sound barrier, while Biz also is coming close to having their Blizzard.
It's still looking like a good fight outcome for Good Boys. They're gonna have 2 big ults, and it seems like and Rift is gonna go back to their old comp, consisting of Ramattra. Their Good Boys is at a real nice choke. Biz is gonna, he's not gonna Blizzard here, but Noctis does pop beat. Immort goes out for Biz, so they're down Immort. Nice headshot from Biz, gets the follow-up pick or shot onto Ymitra. Uses Blizzard but gets nothing, but does force Ice Block. Noctis gets a pick onto Ashenex, but X10 and Chime gets 3 frags onto Noctis and Pascal. So both supports are down for Good Boys, but Salty has a funny
Heal ability.
ability.
Xen is gonna hit the nice shot onto Salty, ending that Queen ult before it even starts, as Good Boys might have been able to come back into that fight with if that Queen ult did hit 3, but Xen says no, shutting that down immediately, not letting that get any values now. Rift is gonna start pushing this cart back the way they want to be going, back into their driver's seat, if you will, and they're gonna have Blizzard. They're gonna come into this next fight with the only ult that is gonna start the fight with is Blizzard, but Pascal's probably gonna build their Coalescence, as Abyss is also gonna charge their ult with Ashenex, also probably building their ult at some point. We'll just have to see when it happens.
Pascal 108 here. He has Cole currently. It's gonna be a really tough fight for Good Boys, but it's still very much winnable. Here comes Cole. X-Tank goes down early, with Abyss being forced, or Abyss Immort going down early, which leads to the death of the supports and the rest of the team. So, only using 1 ult that fight for Good Boys, and Rift still has 3. So, it's still looking very hard, like pushing a rock up a hill, but it's still possible throughout with willpower.
Good Boys have to stay on cart the whole time, since it is overtime. If they get off the cart for more than like 2 seconds right now, and even soon it's going to be down to 1 second, and eventually it's going to be half a second. So you guys probably know how Overwatch works, but just in case you don't, that's how overtime works. They are going to have only the overclock to work with for now, but Biz could build this Blizzard up as now. Biz does get cut out a little bit here. That they get their own block force. They're going to have to help from the team, but Chime is going to capitalize off that, dropping the Blizzard X and finishing off the pick onto Biz, and this is going to be a snowball that I don't think the Good Boys is going to be able to recover from, as one of their 2 ults is out of the game, and now both of their DPS are down, and that's just going to not be recoverable, as Rift is going to take this map and take this game 3-1 for Rift.
Very convincing map from Rift. It was just so unfortunate to see Biz poking for their Blizzard and managing to get walled off, which was a very nice play from Shine. But nice play from Salty with 3 on the Queen ult and getting 2 other picks from that.
Yeah, and I think that from what we saw from Rift on that last map was just I don't want to say the power of Ram, but the power of Ram. You know, it's just so much sustain, never really dying outside of when fights were just completely over. But Ramatra ult is just so strong. It is pretty. It's not. I wouldn't even say it's fight winning, but it's borderline fight winning because that ult is just so good when used in the correct time.
It's just 20 seconds of well, you can
Constant
get 20
damage
seconds of constant damage.
and not taking any damage, like 80% damage reduction. Crazy. Crazy ultimate.
I did like the more coming from Good Boys though. I mean, I would have liked to see the Kiri with Junker Queen, but if Salty was on Ramatra, then the more with Ramatra would have been so good.
Yeah, I think that would have been that seems to be something that works pretty well. I don't remember the support lineup for Rift, but I think they were playing the Moira.
It was Bap and Lucio.
Bap and Lucio, right? So, you know, the Baptiste with the Ram is pretty good, but I would even say that the Moira could work with the Ram if that's what they're intending to have, is just you only play Moira. I think that they could still pick Ram and it could still work.
That
I
is
think now
going
we're
to
gonna
be the Good Boys versus Rift. 3-1 for the side of Rift, and if we can see round 9 matches, thank you.
O3 Splash actually beat Saints. And Timeless and Worldwide are still 2-2. That's a close game. Kind of the one I was expecting to be cool to watch. It's going to be a close game still. But,
Wisp 3-0'd Pirates in Pajamas, which was the number 1 seed. That does lead Pirates in Pajamas to go to the number 2 seed. Wisp stays in 4, Saints stays in 3. Yeah, like I said, Amplify, doing really good right now. They're gaining some momentum. I think Good Boys did fall to rank 7, which is
I
very
think they were
sad.
ranked 5,
I think
maybe
they're ranked
6.
5,
Maybe, yeah.
going down to rank 7.
But still recoverable. I think
I
we have
think
another
Rift stays 9, and we're gonna have another match today.
at 9:30, so in less than an hour-ish. Wait,
I think it's EST, so it's already past
so
that.
13 minutes ago. 13 minutes ago, we're gonna have a game. Um.
Do we know
But
when we're gonna be back for that?
yeah,
Soon?
soon
We're gonna
we'll
be
be
back
back
soon for that.
soon for that little quick break from us here. But like we said before, nice 3-1 win from Rift. But I believe in Good Boys. They're gonna win. They're gonna win, Cranky. Call me crazy.
I'm not calling you crazy. Crazy.
Oh,
I was.
that's a shock.
No, never mind, never mind.
I think that takes us to break though. So
Yeah.
we'll be back in a little bit.
We'll
Or a
be
while
back
bit.
soon for the match against O3 Splash.